What's going on, King of Kings family? It is January 9th, and we are in Acts chapter 9 in our campaign through the book of Acts in the month of January, reading one chapter a day, skipping Sundays. And I zeroed in on Acts chapter 9, verses 1 through 4, which describes the initial interaction that Jesus has with Saul. And what is striking to me about this is that Saul was a bad guy. He was a murderer. He was religiously abusive. He clearly was angry and had a lot of hatred in his heart. I mean, this was somebody that you would not expect to have this major conversion experience that he has. And yet Jesus knocks him on his rear end and gets through to him. And then what we know about Paul is that he goes on to write half the New Testament, that he ends up being martyred for his faith in Christ. Most of the book of Acts is about him, especially the latter half of the book of Acts, as we'll see, as somebody who was an on-fire servant of Jesus. So he goes from persecuting the church to building the church. Seemingly, overnight. I mean, it's a process of a few years, but it begins with this moment where Jesus really grabs his attention and gets a hold of him. And I think that's good news for us because, there are mistakes I've made in life. I know there's mistakes you've made in life. There's things you wish you could have back, and maybe we've not demonstrated what Paul has demonstrated, but we've got stuff, we've got baggage. And yet if Jesus can take Saul and turn him into Paul, Jesus can definitely take the broken pieces of our lives and the ways that we've messed up and do something amazing with that as well. No matter who we are, no matter what we've done, no one is too far for Jesus to get our attention and to not only save us and forgive us, which is great, but then to empower us to be a part of advancing God's kingdom reign on this world. And that's what we were designed for. That's what our heart was made for. That's what most glorifies God is the participation in what God is doing in the world, restoring the world to the way things should be. So that's good news for us, that there's no distance we can go away from God that God can't find us. And so my prayer today is that any guilt that you might be holding on to for past mistakes, any ways in which you think God can't use you, let this story be a demonstration that God absolutely can and absolutely wants to use you. If God could get a hold of Paul, God can certainly get a hold of you. God can certainly get a hold of those loved ones of yours that you think are far from God. There is no one who is too far away. So my prayer is that you know that today. That's all we got for today. God bless, and we will see you tomorrow.